So I want to tell you just a little bit about me. I won't get too personal, but just a little. So these are mine. We just actually got back from vacation. If I do this, then you'll see what they used to look like. All right, so I have 4 kids, and I was a high school math teacher. Don't. It's okay, elementary. It's all right. I'm a nice high school math teacher. I know some of us are a little honored. And I think I may have been for a while. So as a high school math teacher, I got really into technology, and I used graphing calculators in my learning. And I learned that I could actually understand all that stuff I memorized. Like, I could put stuff in the graphing calculator, and I could try stuff out and experiment, and I could figure out, I didn't have to memorize some of that stuff. I could have actually figured it out. There were relationships I could use to graph these different functions. And I got really excited, and that permeated the way that I taught high school math. So when my guys turned into these little varmints that were going to school, and my oldest child went into 1st grade, I began to ask myself, okay, if there's a better way to teach algebra, I wonder if there's a better way to teach arithmetic. Because honestly, what I was seeing come out of what he was doing was not very exciting. And I asked myself, I wonder if there's research out there about better ways to teach elementary math, since I was already convinced there were better ways to teach secondary. And there is. It is out there. The research is wonderful about how we can teach arithmetic better. Unfortunately, we don't hear about it very often. Why would that be true? Why do we not get a lot of training on the wonderful research that's out there for teaching elementary math? I'd like to think about that for just a second. If it's out there, if I'm proposing that it's out there, why do we not know more about it? Well, so in a couple ways, I'm going to tell you what I landed on. So literally, I just had my 3rd kid. I was doing a lot of reading at that point in my life, and I asked a good friend of mine, I said, hey, I want to know about this arithmetic stuff. What's out there about a better way to teach elementary math? She gave me some things to read, and I happened to land on the groundbreaking research right when it came out. Well, I didn't know that. It was secondary, right? I mean, I just picked it up, and I read through it, and I thought, oh, everybody knows this. This is old hat. It's all out there. Everybody's doing it. Oh, and in fact, it was the groundbreaking right coming out. So I'm not that old, so the research isn't that old. It's been out there for a few years. But as that research was being written up and coming out, that's one reason that we don't know about it, because it is relatively new in the realm of educational research. Secondly, it's about elementary math. So how do we get elementary teachers to get training to do that? Well, I honor Victoria. I was in Victoria 2 weeks ago, sorry. Lubbock, I know where I am. I'm in Lubbock. I honor Lubbock and Amador and his team for bringing us out here, for spending 4 days with elementary math teachers. Because I'm really clear that you guys are masters of a lot of things, right? When they say, what? Jack of all trades, master of none? You guys are a master of what you do. You master a lot of different things at the elementary level. And I recognize that. But because of that, there are some consequences. If we have most elementary teachers not being mathematics specialists, then what kind of training do you guys usually get? You get a lot of literacy training. Which should you? Of course you should, because reading is really, really important. Of course that should be a paramount of importance. But then what does that mean? It means that your math trainings often look like those blurbs I had up here earlier. Sing and dance your way through the multiplication facts. And so you go to a session and you're like, oh, I like that trick. That's a cool trick to bring back. Okay, if you ever hear trick, cross that out. So I'm not about tricks. You may have heard of UIL number sense. Yeah, UIL number sense, those kids learn a lot of tricks. They also learn a lot of relationships. I'm totally fine with those kids learning a lot of tricks. Not what I'm about. I want everything I do to be transparent. So it's a really key word, transparent. Think about that for just a minute. If you're thinking about something that's transparent in your life, what's transparent? Can you see through it? Can you understand where it's coming from? I want everything I do to be transparent, not a trick. So if we're thinking about things that are transparent in mathematics, it takes a little bit of time to develop. You can't just come in with, it's not just an activity or a cute thing to do with kids or a rhyme or a song. It literally is more about a foundational attitude and way that we look at learning mathematics.